This next story will make Aaron Schwartz roll over in his grave. So get this, trillion-dollar tech companies are being accused of, wait for it, pirating content to train their AI models. Yes, the same companies that lecture us all about intellectual property are allegedly downloading gigs upon gigs of torrents to train their LLMs. So according to newly unsealed court documents, Nvidia directly contacted the shadow library Anna's Archive seeking access to over 500 terabytes of pirated books. But here's where it gets really good, okay? Anna's Archive actually warned Nvidia that the content was illegally obtained. Nvidia's response? Meh. Management gave the green light within a week. Yeah, because I guess when you're worth over $1 trillion, apparently copyright laws are more of a suggestion. Now, I'm not just going to throw Nvidia under the bus here. Oh no, all the big ones are complacent here. For example, Meta allegedly torrented 81 terabytes of pirated books from a corporate laptop, despite the internal employees saying it was beyond their ethical threshold. And the interesting part about this story is that CEO Mark Zuckerberg claimed zero knowledge of the piracy, yet internal messages show that decisions were, quote unquote, escalated to MZ. Sure, that could be anyone named MZ. Mike Zabronsky, you're on the hook here, man. Oh, and don't forget, OpenAI has been sued too. Basically, the entire AI industry's training data appears to be one giant Napster reunion tour. Now, in the company's defense, they're claiming fair use. Okay. How is pirating copywritten material fair use? Yeah, nothing says fair use like downloading half a petabyte of pirated content after being explicitly told it's illegal. I guess the TLDR here is that rules are only apparently optional when you're disrupting an industry. All right, now for our next story. Federal authorities have successfully dismantled a sophisticated ATM theft ring with 5 Venezuelan nationals pleading guilty to orchestrating jackpotting attacks across 3 different states. So between September 14th and 16th of 2024, 5 Venezuelan nationals ranging in age from 20 to 26 targeted financial institutions across Georgia, Kentucky, and Florida. The group employed the Plautus malware, amongst other technical exploits, to compromise ATM machines and forcing them to dispense thousands of dollars in cash. This method is known as jackpotting, and it uses either deploying malicious software or accessing the ATM's supervisor role to trigger these unauthorized cash withdrawals. Now, the attacks were pretty ballsy because all the members knew that they were being filmed by the surveillance cameras during their crimes. And this is kind of the interesting part of the story here. You'd think that I'd say something like how DFIR or some technical artifact gave them away. Nope. It all came down to good old investigative police work, folks. Authorities identified the suspect through fingerprints left behind on the compromised ATM machines, along with the video evidence on the security cameras. Now, each one of these idiots face up to 30 years in federal prison for their crimes. And after they serve their crime, they'll immediately be deported out of the United States. So, adios muchachos, la salida está por allá. No te vayas a perder. All right. My last story is also about stupid criminals screwing up royally. The notorious INC ransomware group just got a reality check, courtesy of their hilariously sloppy OPSEC. Yeah, these chumps who fancy themselves as untouchable cybervillains left behind a trail of breadcrumbs so stinking obvious it led investigators straight to their secret stash of stolen data. So researchers waltzed in and recovered files for 12 different U.S. organizations without even breaking a sweat. And here's how the INC group screwed up. Okay, they used this open source backup tool called Restic to exfil data out during their attacks. They renamed it to winupdate.exe, thinking people wouldn't figure that out. They were also terribly sloppy and forgot to clean up their mess. Leftover scripts had hard-coded passwords and access keys to their open cloud storage buckets. This forensic firm spotted these artifacts during the routine investigation, cracked open the repo, decrypted the gigs and gigs of data that were previously pilfered from organizations like healthcare, manufacturing, and tech firms. So no ransoms had to be paid. It was just pure Schadenfreude as these bad guys' OPSEC fail turned out to bite them in the ass. So that about wraps up today's stories. This is Andy Thompson signing off.